If you're watching this video, you're probably trying to incorporate some exercise in your daily routine. Probably want to start running or start doing something consistently that's going to help you on your journey to becoming the best version of you. So today, I'm going to tell you how incorporating running in my life has really changed my life for the better. And we're going to get into exactly why it's something that you should do or should not do. Because when it comes to these routines, it's not like a cookie cutter, one size fits all situation. There's a quote that says, you don't have to be the greatest to start, but you have to start to be the greatest. When you see these people online running 5K, 10K, I ran a marathon in 15 minutes. Don't be intimidated because everybody's gotta start somewhere. Everybody has the first step and that looks different for everyone. So right now you're just getting a little peek into my world and what I do to make sure I stay on top of my game. Today's run, I went to a random location that I've never been before, but Google Maps said a track existed, so I figured, why not? I got there and I wanted to run a 5K. I had every intention to run this 5K, but mosquitoes started eating me alive. Like, they were eating me alive. So I only ran 3K, but better 3K than no K, right? I started running a while back. Actually, it was a friend that introduced me to running. I wasn't a person that was automatically inclined to just start my day with running. I wasn't a person that wanted to wake up early in the morning and then, oh, let's go for a run. Not at all. I had a friend that was going through a depression. He was going through a major shift in his life, and he really had to come to terms with what he was going through. And basically he would run every single day. Like, I would speak to him in the morning, he would 8K completed, 5K completed. I'm like, what's wrong with you? He's like, yeah, let's go for a run, man. We should get together and wake up in the morning and run. I was like, I don't know about all that. He wanted to wake up like at 5:30, 6 a.m. and go for a run. This was just such a unfathomable concept to me. I was like, who does this? Like, sometimes I would see people like running when I'm walking around and I'm like why? You know? Till eventually I was like, you know what? What's it gonna hurt? Let me just go for a run. What's the worst that can happen? And that was the beginning of my running story. He told me, yeah, get some music, you know, it'll put you in the vibe. Once you start running, it's gonna be like so perfect and you're gonna feel, it's gonna be a euphoric feeling. I was like, okay, I'm just doing this to say that I'm doing it. I'm not, you know, I wasn't committed so far. On my first run, we were slated to run a 5K because he was like, it's so easy. And I started running, and within 2 minutes of running, I was tired. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, as soon as I started to like move my body a little bit, I got tired. I was like, and you expect me to run, how much does 5K take? Like 30 minutes? I can't do this. And he was very supportive at the time, so even though he could run laps around me, he definitely helped me not give up on myself, and I completed that 5K. I just remember the feeling that I had. My body felt so used. Like, I felt so depleted, but I felt so completed because I was like, wow, I completed a 5K run. Like, that's a feat. That's a thing to say. That's like an accomplishment. From then, I started incorporating it into my week. So every now and then I would go for runs. And then I realized the therapeutic effect that it would give me. So at one, I was waking up in the morning and I was completing the run. And second, just the fact that I set a goal for myself. Let's say it's morning time, I'm gonna run a 3K, and then I'm gonna start my day. That really kicks off the day because you accomplish something that's difficult that most people don't even do. You accomplish something that most people don't even consider. So automatically you just feel better about yourself, you know, and especially in the morning, you're like, you know, let me get more things done. I already did my 3K run. Let me do this, let me do this, let me do this. So by doing this consistently for a couple of months, it just became something that I did. It's so easy to start running. It's a very low barrier of entry. Let's say if you started playing hockey, you know, you'd have to get a hockey stick, you'd have to get skates, you'd have to get all this gear, a helmet, and you'd have to find a skating ring if it's not super icy where you are. Let's say you'd want to play football, you'd have to buy yourself a football and get some friends that are able to practice with you. It's not something that you could really do by yourself. I mean, you could do drills by yourself, but to really get good at football, you need an environment to do that. Same thing for many other sports. Now, running, all you need is 2 legs. You go outside and you start doing it. You don't even necessarily need the proper shoes at first. You can even begin with slippers. I'm not telling you to do that, but you get the point. It's such an easy thing to pick up. It's such an easy thing to start doing. So a lot of times when we want to get fit, we have these preconceived notions or these excuses. You know, the gym is far, I don't have anybody to train with, I can't do this, I can't do that. It's very unlikely that you can't just go outside and start running. It's very unlikely. The way that you think about it is what's going to make you either invest your time in it or not invest your time in it. If you put a goal in mind and you think about it as an investment into your future, the investment that you're putting in your life today is the rewards that you're going to be receiving tomorrow, then you're more to think of it in a positive way, because I'm going for a run to help myself. Sometimes we wake up with these negative thoughts. I know I have for a very long time. So you'd wake up and you'd have just these negative thoughts. You'd maybe feel like you're not good enough. You know, you feel like you should be accomplishing more. You feel like at this age, this person does this, that, and you really didn't accomplish what you felt that you should at that age. Not really comparing yourself to the other person, but comparing yourself to what you believe that you should be. But this is when you understand that it's not about where you believe where you should be. It's about where you are right now. It's not about what you think you should do in the future and what you think should happen at a certain time. It's about how you're taking care of yourself right now. When we think about mental health, a lot of us think about things that are more cognitive, but the secret to great mental health, or I don't know if it's a secret at this point, because it's hand in hand. If you want to take care of your mind, you must also be taking care of your body, because the way that you think of yourself is often a reflection of the way that you treat yourself. If you treat yourself poorly, you're likely going to think of yourself in a poor manner. And if you think of yourself in a poor manner, you're going to start talking to yourself in a poor manner, and then it just repeats the cycle. You think of yourself poorly, you talk to yourself poorly, you treat yourself poorly. So it just keeps going and going and going. The simplest way to trigger better for yourself is to start doing things for yourself, to start putting yourself in an environment that's going to give back to you. Go for that run. Go for that exercise. Go to the gym. Go socialize. Go do something. It's a big difference between theory and practice. A lot of times when we're going through depressive periods, we tend to think, okay, when I start feeling better about myself, I'm going to start exercising. But it doesn't work that way. It's when you start treating yourself better. So when you start going out for that run, when you start exercising, when you start setting yourself in motion, that's when your brain starts to think of yourself differently. Because now you're telling yourself that you can do things. Now you're accomplishing things little by little by little. And the more that you accomplish is the more that you positively reinforce the positive person that you want to become. I used to think that these periods of low feelings or these low moods or these confusing state of beings were just random. I used to feel that this happens to everyone and that's just the way it is. But when I started putting exercise in my daily routine, that's when I started treating myself better more consistently. And by treating myself more consistently, I was now able to target the bad habits that I had. I was now able to target the bad thoughts that I would have, and I'd be able to stop them in their tracks, or rather change them in their tracks, and take back that energy and put it into something constructive. And this only happened when I started to realize that this wasn't normal. And when I started to realize that this wasn't my normal, I started to now wanting to define what was my normal. I started to now put it into perspective. This is what I want for myself. This is how I'm going to get it. And that happens with triggering that change which began with running. So if you're looking to increase your vitality, if you've been going through some things, whatever that may be, life happens, and you feel like you want to change, you want to trigger a change, running could be that trigger that you're looking for. It could be that catalyst that puts you in a different space, that changes, rewires your brain, and puts you on a route to being the best version of you. Now, I don't only run, I also do Muay Thai, I also play soccer, so I have a lot of activities that I do, but definitely running was the beginning to the mentality where I could start doing all of these physical activities at this time, at this age, at this space. So if you're looking to change your life, start it with going for a run. It doesn't have to be a crazy run. It doesn't have to be, oh, I started with 5K, 10K. Do whatever you could do until you do what you want to do. If it's 1K, if it's half of a K, if it's 2K, if you want to run for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, start the run. It's all about starting. It's not about being the greatest. It's about starting. It's not about, having the best gear and I need this, that. I want a track suit and I want to look like this and, looking like a Power Ranger outside. It's not about all that. It's about the mentality and increasing your vitality. So start your day with a run throughout the day, run at the end of the day, as long as you're running, because your future self is gonna thank you at the end. So start your day, go for a run. Let me know what type of routine you do to keep yourself active, to keep your mind out of the gutter in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next video.